takeaway from yesterday coming into today here?
I mean, just trying to put together a game tomorrow to give ourselves our chance at Game 7. I mean, that's the biggest thing. You watch film, you see the areas that you can improve on, but you also have to give credit to them. Obviously, they played well last game, and they go get one on the road.
Was that the best you've seen from them all series?
I don't know if it's necessarily the best. Obviously, anytime you lose, you see things that you could do better, but they play well.
What did stand out to you in kind of rewatching film today?
I mean, offensive rebounds and turnovers. I mean, those are the big things. I mean, anytime we're not turning the ball over that much, and then get stops and then get them offensive rebounds, a team like that, they're going to make you pay. See an extra shot going for Clay or Steph, or them getting an extra layup, it just gives them life.
What do you feel like was causing those turnovers?
A lot of them were just unforced on our end, just playing in the crowd. Not realizing that they're gonna load up in zone, so we just have to just be smart and about our kickouts.
The second chance stuff aside, they shot, I think, close to 70% on twos throughout most of the game. Just what can you guys do defensively to keep them from getting to the rim as easily as they did?
Do a better job of keeping the ball in front. I think it starts there, but also just realizing they're an active cutting team. They're getting a lot of uncontested layups, especially on the weak side. So, for us, we just have to do a better job of just protecting our paint.
What confidence do you have knowing that it's a Game 6 win or go home for you guys, and the season's on the line for you?
I like that. You almost said Game 7. I like that. It's good. It's good energy. For us, I think, especially because we're a younger group, I think, guys are ready to play. We have a short-term memory. I think that overall the energy and the looseness is appropriate for where we are. I think that we're ready to play tomorrow.
That desperation, the back against the wall mentality. I mean, I know nothing compares to this, but do you have anything you can draw off of from earlier in the season?
I don't know if it's necessarily anything you can draw from earlier in the season, because it's obviously hard to equate this type of situation there. But I think for us, we know that when it's time for us to, lock in, for us, not for us to be the team that we've shown, in flashes. I think we've been able to do that consistently. Now, can we string it together for 48 minutes tomorrow for a chance at Game 7? That's the challenge. But I think that we're more than capable. We've shown that we've done it in the series, and it's not about getting back to that.
I think there was so much talk about the experience gap between this team and the Warriors coming in. It's not over yet, obviously, but what are the takeaways you think this team is learning going through this series in this process?
I mean, just all the little things, right? I mean, obviously we can go through and look at, the last 3 games. We can look at fourth quarter or the last 5 minutes and things like that, but there's so many other areas throughout the majority of each of those games, right, that we can learn from, and they got us in those situations. So I think for us, it's just realizing how close we are to where we want to be, but also just locking into the mental areas, right? Because they're going to make great shots, they're going to make tough plays. I mean, that's just a part of who they are, but that's also part of playoff basketball. You look at just anybody who's playing in the league right now, right? You see great performances, but can we withstand that to continue to do what we do?
Have you seen moments for yourself where you, last night especially, where you go, oh man, I wish I had that over again. Wish could have been more aggressive on one end or the other?
Yeah, I mean, I think the biggest thing is honestly just figuring out ways to rebound more. I think that's, when you look back at, for me personally, like when you look back at these last 3 games, is there an extra opportunity you could have went to, help Domas, on Mooney, or, help somebody, find Gary Payton on the weak side, or just whatever it may be. I think that's an area where it's literally just about positioning, but just effort. You know what I mean? Like, can you make the extra effort to go find somebody? So I think that's where I would look back and say, I wish I would have been better.
We saw Keegan have a huge first quarter. You had a big third quarter. Malik had a big fourth quarter. It feels like you guys are almost taking turns. Does there need to be a smoothing out of distributing the shots and everything else throughout the game?
Yeah, I mean that would be ideal. I mean, Keegan gets off to that great start, and I think as a group, we have to do a better job of finding him, right? I mean, that should have been I don't know what number you want to put on it, but it should have been a very special game, right? Anytime you get 10 points in 8 minutes, you're in a great rhythm. We as a group have to identify that and make sure that, not just for him, but just anybody, making sure that they're in the flow of the offense, getting steady touches, continuing to be a threat, right? Like, those are things that we can all feed off of, and, I didn't think we did a good job as a collective last night of making sure, like I said, it was him specifically that night, but just in general, we're doing a good job of capitalizing on.
What do you make of the
Last one, guys.
3-point shooting? I mean, you guys are shooting 30%. You guys were 2 of 23 after the first. Is it fatigue? Is it the physicality? Or what are you noticing with the shooting right now for this team?
I think it's just we just got to focus on shot selection. I mean, they're obviously going to, they know we're a good shooting team. They're going to take away the three, but I think it's shooting the shots that are open, but also being selective with the ones that we take. I mean, anytime we're shooting contested threes, tougher threes, that kind of plays into their hand, plays into their strategy, right? Like they want to make our shooters uncomfortable. So, kind of going back to the Keegan question, when we can get good looks and we can get guys going, that's when we have to kind of ride that momentum and go from there.
Thanks.